God. I missed. Madam Clerk?
Yes, Mayor. Board of Commissioners public meeting Tuesday, September 20th, 2016. The time is 7:54. Pursuant to the requirements of the Open Public Meeting Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, notice of this meeting was published in the December 24, 2015 issue of the Nutley Sun, the Star Ledger, and the Herald News. A copy of this notice has been posted on the Nutley Town Hall Bulletin Board, and a copy is on file in the Municipal Clerk's office. Commissioner Rogers.
Here.
Commissioner Tucci.
Here.
Commissioner Evans.
Here.
Commissioner Petracco.
Here.
Mayor Scarpelli.
Here.
All present, Mayor.
Minutes, Madam Clerk?
Yes, we have the August 16, 2016 regular meeting minutes. I need a motion, please.
Move it.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye.
September 6, 2016 executive session minutes.
Move it.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye.
And that's it for minutes, Mayor.
Communications and correspondence?
Yes, today, the Academic Booster Club has submitted an application for a social affair permit to host a wine tasting event at the Nutley Historical Society Museum on 65 Church Street on Saturday, October 15, 2016, between the hours of 7:30 and 10. I need a motion.
Move it.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye.
The Nutley Chamber of Commerce has submitted an event application to host Santa's arrival at the Nutley Park Oval on Friday, November 25th, 2016, between the hours of 2 and 3, with a rain date of Saturday, November 26th, between 11 a.m. and 12 p.m.
Move it.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye.
And that's it for correspondence, Mayor.
Reports, I have monthly progress reports for various months from Public Works Department. Madam Clerk, bills?
Bills for Tuesday, September 20th, 2016. Public Affairs, $109,900.71. Revenue and Finance, $2,932,295.25. Public Safety, $46,867.51. Public Works, $385,753.71. Parks and Public Property, $79,769.47. Total payroll, $766,240.40, for a grand total of $4,320,827.05.
Move the bills.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye.
That's it for bills, Mayor.
Public comment on agenda items only. Madam Clerk, please read the notice.
Yes, Mayor. All persons addressing the Board of Commissioners regarding community concern should approach the microphone and provide their name and address for the record. Unless further time is granted by the Board, each person shall limit their address to 3 minutes. All remarks to the Board and its individual members must be addressed to the Mayor. The Mayor may defer citizens' comments to the appropriate member of the Board. Dialogue between citizens and others addressing the Board shall be allowed unless the Mayor or presiding officer or the majority of the membership of the board shall determine that the interests of decorum and/or expeditious conduct of municipal business are being adversely affected by such dialogue.
Would anybody like to be approach the Board of Commissioners on agenda items only? Seeing none. Board of Commissioner announcements? Any announcements? Ordinance introductions. Commissioner Evans.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance number 3342, which I'll read by title. An ordinance to fix the salaries of certain officers and employees of the Township of Nutley, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, effective October 18th, 2016. I move that this ordinance be passed to a second reading and advertised in the Nutley Sun, together with the notice required by law, and that further consideration of said ordinance for final passage by the Board of Commissioners be held at its second reading on October 18th, 2016. So move.
I'll second that.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye. Public hearings. Commissioner Evans.
Yes, tonight we have ordinance number 3348, which amends fees in the code office for commercial construction. So a range of permit fees associated with that. We haven't changed those fees in some time, and we noted that we were lagging in comparison to other municipalities. We're not at the highest, but we remain in that mid-range.
Open a public hearing. Would anybody like to be heard on ordinance number 3348?
Move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye.
Move the ordinance.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye. Resolutions. Commissioner Rogers.
Resolution number 2/2016, whereas NJSA 40A:611, the Uniform Shared Services and Consolidation Act, authorizes and empowers local units to enter into agreements with other local entities regarding shared services. And whereas the Township and the Board of Education recognize the value of interlocal cooperation as a way of reducing duplication and overlap of services, and whereas the Township and the Board of Education have previously entered into such an agreement in order to define the respective rights and obligations of the Township and the Board of Education regarding the employment of a physician, school physician, to provide health services, now therefore be it resolved that the Township of Nutley and the Nutley Board of Education wish to extend the existing shared services agreement for physician school physician services for the period September 1st, 2016 through August 31st, 2017, for which the Township will be compensated $7,000 to be paid in 10 equal installments of $700. Before I move this, I just want to note that this was a shared service that was actually orchestrated by the Nutley Board of Education and the Department of Health. And the objective here was to save tax dollars, and we did. And it was become very successful, and we're renewing the contract this year. So moved. Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye. Commissioner Tucci.
Be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners, Township of Nutley, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, that the Township Clerk is hereby authorized to advertise for sealed bids for the Park Avenue cellular antenna installation in the Township of Nutley to be received on behalf of the Board of Commissioners in the Commission Chambers, Township Hall, 1 Kennedy Drive, Nutley, New Jersey, on Thursday, November 10, 2016, at 3 p.m. prevailing time, at which time they will be opened and read. I move the resolution.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye.
Whereas the Township of Nutley entered into a contract with Dujet's Tree Experts, 54 Notch Road, Woodland Park, New Jersey, for tree removal services, and whereas change order number 1 is required to increase the contract amount to include the changes and additional scope of work recommended by the Director of Parks and Public Property, and whereas change order number 1 will increase the amount for tree removal services to $12,105, and whereas such additions have been reviewed and approved by the Township Forester and grant funding is available for hazard mitigation in Township Parks, account 6-01-635299, in the amount of $11,200, and ordinance number 3344A in the amount of $905, and have been certified by the Chief Financial Officer, said certification being attached to this resolution. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Nutley, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, that change order number 1 with Dujet's Tree Experts in the amount of $12,105 for tree removal services be and is hereby authorized. I move the resolution.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye.
I'm introducing this next resolution on behalf of the entire Board of Commissioners. Whereas on Sunday, October 9, 2016, the Nutley Belleville Columbus Day and Italian Heritage Month Parade Committee will celebrate its 34th annual Columbus Day Parade festivities commemorating Columbus' historic voyage to the New World. And whereas the Parade Committee has a long history of commemorating Columbus Day each year in the Township of Nutley, which is looked forward to and enjoyed by both spectators and participants alike, and whereas the Nutley Belleville Columbus Day and Italian Heritage Month Parade Committee will celebrate its annual honoree dinner on Wednesday, September 28, 2016, at Nonina's in the Park, Belleville, New Jersey, and whereas this year the Grand Marshals are Barry Murillo, Joseph Murillo, and Vito Cucci, and whereas Barry Murillo, Joseph Murillo, and Vito Cucci are joined by the Lifetime Achievement Award recipient Victor Mesci, the Italian Heritage Award recipient Sal Coco Jr., Belleville Woman of the Year Carol Damiano Casal, Belleville Man of the Year Dr. John Cosarelli, Nutley Woman of the Year Michelle de Blasio Flytel, Nutley Man of the Year Salvatore Rosamilia, 2016 Renaissance Man PJ Sandomenico, 2016 Italian Business Leader Giacomo Nassisi, Community Excellence Award recipient Lorraine Restel, along with the 2016 Bella Signorinas Luciana Gilfone from Belleville and Dominique Campo from Nutley as this year's dignitaries. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Nutley, County of Essex, join with the citizens of Nutley to salute and congratulate all of the honorees as they will be honored at this dinner. I move the resolution.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye.
Whereas NJSA 48:4-87 provides that the Director of the Division of Local Government Services may approve the insertion of any special item in the budget of any county or municipality when such item shall have been made available by law and the amount thereof was not determined at the time of the adoption of the budget, and whereas said Director may also approve the insertion of any item of appropriation for equal amount. Section 1, now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners, Township of Nutley, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, hereby request the Director of the Division of Local Government Services to approve the insertion of an item of revenue in the budget of the years 2016, the sum of $2,595, which item is now available as a revenue from the Green Community Grant Program pursuant to the provision of statute. Section 2, be it further resolved that a like sum of $2,595 be and same is hereby appropriated under the caption of General Appropriations A, Operations - excluded from 5% cap, Green Community Grant Program in the amount of $2,595. Section 3, be it further resolved that the above is the result of revenues available for the Green Community Grant. Be it further resolved that the municipal matching share for the Green Community Grant in the amount of $2,595 is included in the 2016 adopted budget and is hereby appropriated for said purpose. Be it further resolved that the Township Clerk forward one certified copy of this resolution to the Director of Local Government Services. I move the resolution.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco? Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye.
That's all I have, Mayor.
Mr. Evans.
Thank you, Mayor. Be resolved that the treasurer is authorized to refund overpayment of property taxes in the amount of $482.76 arising from tax court judgment for block 3602-11 for the year 2016. So move.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye.
Whereas the Township of Nutley desires to enter into an agreement with the Morris County Cooperative Pricing Council, which is administered by Randolph Township as lead agency, to renew its membership in the Morris County Cooperative Pricing Council for the period of October 1, 2016 through September 30th, 2016, 2021. Is that correct?
Yes, it's from 2016 to September 30th, 2021. It's 5 years.
Thank you. Just clarification. Thank you. So September 30th, 2021. Be resolved by the Board of Commissioners, 1, that the mayor and township clerk of the Township of Nutley are hereby authorized to execute the agreement with the Morris County Cooperative with the Township of Randolph as the lead agency dated October 1, 2016, pursuant to NJSA 48:11-11.5. Said agreement is for the renewal of membership for a 5-year period from October 1, 2016 through September 30th, 2021. 2, the Township Clerk is hereby directed to submit a copy of this adopted resolution along with the agreement to Randolph Township as lead agency. This resolution shall take effect immediately upon passage. All appropriate Township of Nutley officials are authorized and directed to perform all required acts to effect the purpose of this resolution. So move.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye.
Thank you, Mayor.
Rocco, anything tonight?
I have nothing, Mayor.
You. Whereas a raffle application has been received from the following organization: Nutley Junior Raiders Booster Club, license number 40-16, off-premise 50/50 cash raffle to be held Saturday, October 15th, 2016. Whereas the application has been reviewed and approved by the municipal clerk and the police department, now therefore be resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Nutley, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, that the aforementioned license is approved and the municipal clerk is authorized to issue the license. I move the resolution.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco? Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye. Be resolved by the Board of Commissioners, Township of Nutley, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, that the Township Clerk is hereby authorized to advertise for sealed bids for the 2016 Hancock's Avenue improvements, Union Avenue to Passaic Avenue. The Township of Nutley to be received on behalf of the Board of Commissioners in the Commission Chambers, Township Hall, 1 Kennedy Drive, Nutley, New Jersey, on Wednesday, October 12, 2016, at 3 p.m. prevailing time, at which time they will be open and read. I move the resolution.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye. Whereas bids for the 2016 curbside recycling bins were received and opened on Wednesday, September 7, 2016, and whereas Ray Rig Pacific Company, 1738 West 20th Street, Erie, Pennsylvania, was the low bidder. Whereas the curbside recycling bin price per unit is in the amount of $9.05, the curbside recycling bin price per pallet is in the amount of $2,678.80 for a total quantity of 296 per pallet. Whereas funds are available from account number 601-626-299 in the amount not to exceed $20,000 and have been certified by the Chief Financial Officer, said certification be attached to this resolution. Now therefore be resolved by the Board of Commissioners, Township of Nutley, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, that a contract be awarded to Ray Rig Pacific Company for an amount not to exceed $20,000, that the mayor and the township clerk are hereby authorized to enter into and sign said contract for the Township of Nutley. I move the resolution.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye. That concludes the business portion of our meeting. Madam Clerk, will you read the notice?
Yes, Mayor. All persons addressing the Board of Commissioners regarding community concerns should approach the microphone and provide their name and address for the record. Unless further time is granted by the Board, each person shall limit their address to 5 minutes. All remarks to the Board and its individual members must be addressed to the Mayor. The Mayor may defer citizens' comments to the appropriate member of the Board. Dialogue between citizens and others addressing the Board shall be allowed unless the Mayor or presiding officer or the majority of the members of the Board shall determine that the interest of decorum and or the expeditious conduct of municipal business are being adversely affected by such dialogue.
Anybody like to address the Board of Commissioners this evening?
Penny Landry, 135 Lakeside Drive. I noticed on the agenda it says Nutley Board of Education, Municipal Alliance Committee members, Dr. Julie Glazer, Karen Yeamans, Charlie Kaczynski, Danny Carnicella, Salvatore Ferrara, and Brenda Sherman. And will they be addressing us tonight?
No, we'll be going into executive session with them.
Okay, so and what was the purpose of the executive session?
Jenna Tempo?
We're going to be discussing property acquisition.
Property acquisition with the Nutley Board of Education Municipal Alliance Committee, and that will be an executive session.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is this additional property? Can we know what the,
Yes.
oh, it's the purchase of additional property by the
I
township?
cannot say any more.
Okay, all right. I have another question. There was also the ordinance 3342, which is going to public hearing on October 18th, correct? Can I ask a couple of questions about that before the public hearing?
Jenna Tempo?
Well, it's your chance to speak on public matters. The opportunity to speak agenda items was earlier, but
Well, because I'm not following this, because you're saying everything on this 2 pages is agenda items. So then I'll just make a comment.
okay, I'm not saying you can. I'm just saying that it's also one of the agenda items, and there will be a public hearing on the document on October.
You can ask the question.
Okay, thank you.
October 18th is the public hearing.
Okay, thank you. I've spoken about this before because every year we have this as an ordinance where we change the base minimum salary and the base maximum salary. One that I'm noticing here looks like an addition of a new position, and I'd like to ask about it. Attorney for the Planning Board Redevelopment Consulting, minimum $125 an hour to maximum $10,000. Who is the redevelopment consulting attorney for the Planning Board?
Jenna Tempo?
Who is the redevelopment consulting attorney for the Planning Board?
There is one right now. That might be for a future position.
This is a
I
potential.
don't believe there is one right now.
Yeah, I would agree. There isn't one.
The redevelopment attorney that we're using for the Roach project is on a different.
Okay, because it's listed under the legal department as a non-union employee, and we are potentially going to be approving a $10,000 salary. So
These are ranges for potential positions also.
Okay, and last year, I'm looking at that, we had the same conversation last year, that a lot of township employees were very close to the base maximum salary. So of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages of base salary maximum changes, will all township employees, if ordinance number 3342, be seeing as a result of these maximum salary changes, be seeing an increase in compensation?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily?
Early.
Okay,
These ranges haven't changed from when it was first introduced.
okay. But why are we changing these ranges?
Some that have changed, but for the majority, they have not.
Okay, so,
Allow us to, what the salary ordinance allows us is to pay our employees.
right, I understand that.
So there may be adjustments here, in here.
Well, because
but-
some of them double, they're huge increases from last year.
Have a specific one you're questioning?
Sure. No, I questioned a lot of them, but especially with our tax increase. Like, for instance, we have here a registered environmental health specialist part-time, and the base salary minimum is $10,000, but for a part-time position, this ordinance raises the maximum to $50,000 for a part-time environmental health specialist. And then we also have a registered health specialist, a secondary position, which the max is 20 and is going to 50.
I think
base.
you're reading this wrong, Ms. Landry. There's a base minimum and a base maximum.
Well, last year I went through all of the bases and all of the actuals, and very few of those employees of the township were at the base. So I guess I'll just redo that same research and then address it again at the next meeting. Thank you.
Anyone else like to address the Board of Commissioners? We're going to make it accessible for you, Mrs. Schuster.
He's not in charge of the buildings, I am, and we did pay the bill. Only if I send it down, Sarah.
Only if Commissioner Tucci authorizes it for payment.
For the building, you're electric.
Welcome back.
So, you're built. How about the hand one?
Do we have a, Tom?
Tom's coming with.
I should raise his.
I'll try both. Does this work? I don't want to swallow it. Oh my God. I came down tonight to speak.
Name and address for the record, Mrs. Schuster.
Oh, Sarah T. Schuster, 462 Chestnut Street, Nutley.
Welcome back.
Thank you very much. And I have a tree for you for Christmas. Call me, I'll give you the address. Mayor Joe. I did tell you it's not handicap accessible. I came here to talk to you, Mr. Rogers, Roy Rogers. I've been leaving messages, and I don't think you're getting them. I feel that your calls are being screened because I have 2 cell phone numbers, and you're not getting the message. Lindsay said she calls you, everybody calls you. I want to know why I am not being driven to the doctors. I had a heart doctor's appointment, and I had to cancel, and they wanted to know why. I said, I don't have transportation. They said, what kind of town do you live in? I said, a crooked town. That's what I told them. Why are they not driving me? And your fella, I don't know his name, he's the veteran, he hung up on me. He said, we only give 8 rides, and that's it. We have to take care of dialysis. I told him dialysis is 3 times a week for life. He hung up on me. He's lucky I didn't have a car. I'm not driving that because I'd be down there taking up residency in your building. Now, I like you, Roy. I know you're a good guy. I know, but I want to know why didn't you return my call? 2, why have I been cut off for transportation? Most of the calls were for Nutley. So I wish you would check on that because it's got me very annoyed, very upset. And as far as 5 minutes, it takes me longer than 5 minutes to say hello.
I could understand the frustration. When the Red Cross closed down, our department, as a courtesy, it wasn't a requirement. In fact, we didn't even have anything built to provide rides for people. But as a courtesy to help out, what we did was we decided to take on that challenge. And first few months it wasn't bad, but then more and more and more people began to call. We ran into a situation where people needed 20, 30, maybe 40 rides. We didn't have the cars, we didn't have the manpower. So I had limited the number of rides, and it was really built to be a gap because we found that a lot of people were able to get transportation. I'll give you an example. We have a woman who had been calling us that has 3 children, and they could drive. And she had a rough time over about a 1 or 2 month period where they were busy, they were working, etc. So we filled in that gap to about 8 or 9 rides. But I had to limit it because of the number of people that we were transporting. However, Commissioner Tucci, I worked with him in the beginning, and he has stepped up to help to provide the transportation that's needed for a lot of people. And there were things that I was unaware of. Let me give you an example. I was unaware of that people that had to go for treatment that had some handicaps, the liability that the township would be taking if I had put one of those individuals in a vehicle and they got hurt would be tremendous. So we had to be real careful as to how we were approaching this. But this entire Board of Commissioners, I've asked for cars from all of them, and they've all lent us cars. They've all kind of pitched in, but we're trying to just shape this program out so that everyone is provided a ride. And Essex County, they do have a program called Essex County Link that we have in the past referred people to citizens to, and many of the citizens have opted out. They don't want that. So we're doing the best we could, believe me. And Commissioner Tucci, I know you've been involved in this for quite some time.
Thank you, Commissioner. I'd just like to follow up on that. Sarah, what we're doing now, and we're just beginning to ramp up, and we're in the process of buying a vehicle, a low-entry vehicle that folks can get in and out of very easily. We're providing rides for dialysis on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So if you call the Parks Department, we'll be happy to try and accommodate
I'll
you.
go for dialysis.
I'm sorry?
I don't take dialysis.
Okay, well, that's what we're doing right now. If you have some other need, then call the department. We'll be happy to try and work something out with you so we can provide that right to you.
I called all over the state of New Jersey. I didn't get anywhere.
Well, and I'm sure you did, but you didn't call the Parks Department.
I did call your park. I
called our department for a
Lois
ride?
Plenty. I talked to Lois Plenio.
For a ride?
No, about the transportation, and then she connected me with someone else. And it didn't work out.
Well, you know, we have other transportation services in place, but this is something new. And again, because of what Commissioner Rogers said, because the Red Cross pulled out, he was good enough to step in and provide that gap assistance. But what we're doing
He runs
now...
a good department, Roy Rogers. He runs a good department.
Commissioner Rogers, please, Mr. Schuster.
Who said that?
Me.
Oh, Commissioner Roy Rogers. He does. I'm sorry. That's how I know Mr. Rogers by.
Well, you know, you are articulating a lot of frustration that people have, but believe me, this is something that'll be rectified. This was thrust upon us pretty much overnight, right? I mean,
Yes.
It was just something we never expected, but we learned something, all right? We're learning from you, and we're learning from others about the needs we need to meet, and
I
collectively
don't
we're
take
going to do
I
that.
don't take advantage of anyone, but your men, Pat and Mike, are lovely people. They are gentlemen, and they were very nice to me. So I have to tell you that.
Thank you.
Also, I'd like to know one other thing from Mr. Tom Evans. That's a big family, an old family, and I know them very well. They're good people. And when I get the Nutley Sun, the free Nutley Sun, because I don't buy it because my birds don't like to read that paper. But anyway, I read in there that the man wanted to buy that property, put a 3-story building up, and you said no, you didn't want it. So I wonder if you could explain to me, and we would have gotten tax from that. I want to know the difference between that 3-story building and DiBiase's 3-story building. What's the difference? By the way, he's got 11 apartments. He's getting $2,700 for each apartment a month.
The transaction you're referring to was never completed. Two, the buyer for that wanted to actually build out the property with significant density, which would have eliminated all the possibility for public parking and public access to parking in that north end, which the Ciccolinis, being the family that they are, were always very generous in allowing residents to park on their lot, as well as providing parking for the resident business owners in that section. So with that property not being built, I can't speculate on what that revenue would be, but it was significant density. With the town stepping in, we have a great opportunity to take control of the property, make sure we're addressing the municipal needs for parking and other services while controlling what we believe the right density will be for the property. As it relates to Mr. DiBiase's property, they're not comparable.
No, but it's 3 stories.
That would be a comparison. Yes,
That's the only thing I look at.
is 3 stories high. The particular DiBiase property under our existing ordinance would have allowed him to build twice the units that he has there, which he chose not to do.
That was nice of him. He doesn't even
Yeah.
live in Nutley.
One more question, Mrs. Schuster.
Doesn't. I'm sorry. to
One
hear-
more question.
One more question. Commissioner Rogers, I'll try to remember to call you Steve. So take care, and I know you're busy because I've called all over. I know you. Okay, so that's. Don't forget, I know someone that has a tree. And I'm sorry I missed so many meetings, but I'll try to make it up to you, whether it's with a flyer or my presence. I've been getting many, many requests to do more flyers. And I thank you.
Mrs.
Anybody else
Schuster.
like to address the Board of Commissioners?
Mayor,
We
before,
need a motion to...
excuse me, before we go into close, because we may lose some folks, two items I'd like to bring up this evening. One, it's been brought to my attention that the meeting of September 6th has not been posted up on the website for viewing. That is correct. All right, there was a mix-up in who was to drop the actual, I call them tapes, the DVDs off, all right, and that did not occur, but it in fact has been on Channel 77 and Channel 42, and we will have that up by tomorrow. The second thing is, it's also been brought to my attention that folks are going to the high school talking to Mr. Williams about filming of these meetings. If anyone has any questions, we would appreciate it if you would direct those questions to my department and not direct them to the high school principal, all right, or our youngsters, all right, who are actually doing the filming at $10 an hour as part of their technology program. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Commissioner Tucci, the September 6th meeting is on the website.
It is up.
It is posted, yes.
Okay.
The
thank
video is
you.
posted,
It was
yes.
posted today.
Today.
Thank you. I know it wasn't up because that was brought to my attention.
Yes,
And also, and
it's
just
up.
one more thing. In a conversation that someone had, all right, I'm not sure who that someone is, someone used a poor choice of words and said that it's not up yet, the meeting, because it needs to be edited. The meetings are not edited. They may be formatted, all right, for a presentation on the website, but there is nothing that is edited. It's a public record. It's verbatim.
Thank you, Commissioner. I have a motion to go into executive session.
Make a motion?
Second.
Go into executive session for...
Property acquisition, is that correct?
Correct.
Whereas Section 8 of the Open Public Meeting Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975 permits the exclusion of public from meeting in certain circumstances, and whereas the public body is of the opinion that such circumstances exist, and whereas the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Nutley in the County of Essex and State of New Jersey desires to proceed to close executive session, and now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Nutley move into close executive session to discuss property acquisition. Be it further resolved that the time when such discussion may be disclosed to the public shall be when such disclosure may be made without adversely affecting the Township of Nutley pending and/or anticipated legal, personnel, contractual matters, and other matters within the exceptions provided for by statute. Commissioner Rogers. Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Commissioner Petracco?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye. We will be coming back. There will be no action taken. We'll be coming back to close the meeting.
The time is 8:30.